Bogotá, capital of Colombia. We are in front of the first La Modelo guard post. La Modelo is the main prison. There is another one in the city.
Buenos días.
Hello. Go through. We have come to get permission to enter with our camera into this prison called the Model Prison. We have a meeting with the director. But the director isn't here. He has forgotten our meeting. It has to be said that at La Modelo they aren't used to having journalists, and they have a lot of other things to do. Go out, go out. It's 10:30 and the gunfire that has just burst out is not outside the walls, but inside the prison. A minute of firing, then silence. The guards have pushed us back into the street where families are waiting for visiting hour.
¿Hay algún muerto? No. ¿Está calmado adentro? ¿Cuántos muertos hubo?
It's the 5th shootout in 6 months, for a total of 40 to 50 deaths, but no official count is given. Today, only 4 dead. The guards didn't fire a single shot. It was a settling of scores between drug traffickers. An hour later, the 4 bodies are sent to the morgue in this truck. The rumor has already gone beyond the walls of the prison. Alfonso Balmes has been killed. Alfonso Balmes, a big-time drug trafficker. 3 others killed were 3 killers who had just shot Alfonso Balmes and who then were riddled with bullets in their turn by his bodyguards. The next day, in front of the Bogotá morgue, Alfonso Balmes' mother and father.
La
Modelo National Prison is responsible for the death of my son. As soon as the funeral is over, I'm going to register a complaint against the state. I was told he was going to play football, that an armed band was waiting for him and riddled him with bullets. All Colombia knows that this prison is controlled by the mafiosi of the country, that is, the drug traffickers, the paramilitary, and the guerrilla. 3 years ago, when we were doing a story on the drug channels, we were able to go into La Modelo to meet with a Frenchman who had been arrested with 5 kilos of cocaine at the Bogotá airport. He had been in the prison for 6 months, but remembered very clearly the day of his arrival.
Naturally,
there's no one who wants to show their face. There were 4 or 5 guys who jumped me and took my bag, demanded that I follow them. So I followed them. They brought me to a cell. There are 3, 4 guys who asked me if I prefer to sleep on the floor or in a bunk.
Dehors, à la rotonde. Alors ils m'ont dit voilà, t'as l'air bien, t'as du fric.
They said you seem to have a lot of money, so they offered me a bunk.
La planche c'est le bas-flanc. Il y a 4 bas-flancs dans la cellule. Il y en a 2 de chaque côté. Et on te dit, j'ai dû payer 5 000 francs.
And I had to pay almost $1,000. When we met him, he was still in a state of shock over what had just happened 15 days before. A shooting in the prison.
J'avais jamais vu autant de morts dans ma vie.
I've never seen so much death in my life.
De pareil. Il y a une quinzaine de jours.
There was a period of 15 days.
Cette fusillade.
There was a shootout that lasted 4 hours. It was incredible between the guards in the watchtower and the prisoners that were in the courtyard. 4 hours. It was impressive. Do you still have hope? In a year and a half, I might get permission to leave for a few days. That's the only advantage we have as foreign prisoners in Colombia.
C'est la seule chose qui est bien en Colombie, c'est qu'on peut bénéficier de permission de nos autres étrangers. Donc, no comment.
A month and a half later, taking advantage of a pass, the Frenchman quietly left the country to get out of hell. It was after filming his story that we asked to do a story on La Modelo. 3 years of requests, and finally we were able to get the authorities, and especially the big bosses who decide for the prisoners, to agree to it. Harold Cardoso has just turned 20. He did his military service in the prison and decided to make a career of it. He is now a prison guard and at the same time is taking courses at the law school.
Sí, es peligroso, la verdad, sí.
Yes, it's a dangerous job.
Porque se presentan muchas cosas aquí en las
A lot of
cárceles,
things
se
can
presentan
happen,
muchos
mutinies,
motines,
wars
desavenencias,
between the
conflictos
prisoners,
internos, guerras entre ellos.
and also we
Y,
must
pues,
be
teníamos que estar en
inside
la
the
parte
prison where the
interna.
prisoners are
Nosotros
armed and we
normalmente
aren't.
no lo hacemos en la parte interna.
What?
De alguna manera se ha logrado
Weapons
entrar,
get into the prisons in one way or
en las
another.
cárceles, más que todo en estas grandes, ¿no?
¿Armas de
Que es la
fuego?
Modelo.
They have firearms? Yes, firearms.
Este,
Sí.
bastos
This
de
is my billy club.
¿Para qué sirve?
para las
To do
requisas
what?
y para
For searches and
se nos da
supposedly
en un
for
principio
self-defense.
para defendernos. Pero
But my
el
best
mejor
weapon
arma
is God.
es Dios.
God and his billy club. For as in all prisons, the guards here don't have firearms when they are in contact with the prisoners. Today he is posted at Watchtower number 1, the one which dominates the whole prison. Harold will spend the day there. Here in these watchtowers, the guards don't count on anything to help them except God. What protection do you have? My bulletproof jacket. It's the only safety measure, and my weapon. Because unfortunately the windows are not reinforced.
Pero trabajamos con lo que podemos.
There's supposed to be a radio here to communicate with the other watchtowers and with the central post,
Para comunicación entre las guerrillas,
to be able to warn of anything unusual, anything strange.
movimiento extraño.
But we don't have a radio because there's lack of material. They're probably being used somewhere else. There's a huge gulf between what we're taught at school and the reality in this prison. For me, it was a shock to see that here, nothing is like what I learned at school.
Que yo iba a mandar,
Commanding the prisoners, controlling the prison.
entre comillas, que iba a controlar.
It's the prisoners who control the prison,
Me estrellé con
who
que
organize
eran los que
themselves.
se organizaban.
We're only instruments to survey the walls and control the barriers.
Somos instrumentos
Nothing
para
more.
vigilar y para proteger muros, para manejo de rejas. Eso es todo.
Survey the walls and control the barriers. Vocations fall quickly out of contact with reality, and the reality of La Modelo is 5,000 prisoners for 2,400 places. 5,000 men in 2 squalid buildings in the northern quarter, in the one surmounted by barbed wire, the high security wing, and in the 2 buildings in the southern quarter, recently repainted blue. The northern quarter is controlled by the extreme left guerrilla. The southern quarter is controlled by the extreme right militia, the paramilitary which fights against the guerrilla. Between the two, the maximum security wing and its wire grill which covers the exercise yard. About 30 important people are incarcerated here. All but one are big bosses of the drug cartel. One of them, for example, was Pablo Escobar's right-hand man. He gave himself up after his boss was killed by the police 10 years ago. Velázquez Vázquez, nicknamed Popeye, considered to be one of the biggest killers in the world.
Me sindican de haber pertenecido al ala terrorista del cartel de
I've been
Medellín,
accused of being the head of the terrorist branch of the Medellin cartel,
presidente de la República
of having
colombiana,
kidnapped the current president of the republic when he was candidate for mayor of Bogotá, of having assassinated the republic's public prosecutor, of terrorism, murder, and other crimes.
terrorismo, homicidio y más delitos afines. Pablo Escobar lo rodean por ahí unos
Pablo
3.000
Escobar was
sicarios,
surrounded by
desde los
3,000
10
killers from the age of 10 to 58.
48 años más o menos.
¿Desde qué edad comenzaste
How old were
a
you when you
matar?
began to kill?
Desde los 18 años.
I was 18.
¿Cómo surgió?
And why?
¿Por qué?
No, es muy normal porque en
It's
Colombia
normal
sigue la
because
cultura de la
Colombia is a
violencia.
culture of violence.
Cuando se
My greatest
secuestré
success was the
al-
kidnapping of the president of the
al que es
republic when he was
presidente
candidate
ahora
for
la
mayor of
República,
Bogotá.
cuando era
A well-conceived,
aspirante a la alcaldía de San Pablo,
well-organized,
una
nice,
operación
clean
limpia,
operation for me.
bonita para mí Y que incluso lo benefició a él porque eso le
And
dio
in
notoriedad
addition,
porque en esa época él
the
estaba
fact of
disputando la
having
alcaldía
kidnapped
con
him
otro-
sent him right up
con
to the
otro
top of the
candidato,
polls.
y el secuestro lo puso en la punta de las encuestas.
¿Te pertenecen a ti?
How many people have you killed? Policemen,
Policías,
ordinary
gente
people?
pública, etcétera.
No, pues yo realmente
Only
eso, el único
psychopaths
que
count
cuenta
those
lo
they've
muerto es un
murdered
psicópata.
and hold on to their
Y que guarda
memories.
prendas, yo como lo hacía a nivel
I think I've
profesional,
killed
pues yo
about
calculo por ahí
150
unos
professionally.
150.
In the center of the prison, under this high security wing, there's a border between the south and the north. There where the last gun battle took place. The prisoners have named it the Corridor of Death. At the end of this corridor, a crossroads. Everything which comes in or goes out of the prison passes by here, under the eye of the guards at the checkpoint. 90% of the prisoners are common law criminals. They are neither extreme left guerrillas or extreme right militia, and they would willingly choose to know nothing about this war if the North and South enemies would leave them alone to do so. At La Modelo, it's been a long time since any director has stayed longer than 6 months. The last one to accept the position is very young. Captain Garchana, 32 years old, was promoted 2 months ago. The hardest thing is to maintain an equilibrium between the different factions. There is the right, the left, the drug traffickers, the terrorists, the assassins, the white-collar thieves. That's the hardest thing. Are you armed? No. I don't carry any weapons. My only weapon are my tools of work.
Mis herramientas de trabajo.
The man saluting the captain is Deputy Commander Alverio of the Marxist guerrilla. The captain has put us under his protection because the deputy commander is the one who assures the security of the whole north wing of the prison. It is he who takes charge of us the moment we go through this door. He and his bodyguards, the man in the black cap and the one with the red and blue cap. The door that we have just gone through is the entrance to his territory, and starting here, those who are in charge are his men. 200 guerrillas, prisoners but armed, who control the buildings and survey the other prisoners. At the end of this corridor, Elviero's cell. The deputy commander is a prisoner. He has not yet been prosecuted, but he is accused of rebellion, terrorism, and kidnapping for ransom.
Nosotros tenemos que armarnos dentro de la cárcel.
We have to be armed in the
Uno de esos
prison.
estamentos,
That's why my bodyguards are carrying
en
weapons.
este caso, ellos andan armados.
The pistols are 9mm caliber. The grenades, ready to be used. Are you ready to fight? Yes. We have to always be ready to be at war, wherever we are, in prisons or outside. The state has deprived us of our liberty. It's our only way to survive. Deputy Commander Alviero leads us to the Colombian Revolutionary Armed Forces headquarters, the guerrilla which for 30 years has fought against the army. The Colombian Revolutionary Armed Forces controls a third of the country and has 25,000 men. At La Modelo, their headquarters is North Wing, 4th floor. Even in prison, the guerrillas continue their training, and every morning they salute the flag and sing the revolutionary hymn.
Compañía, a discreción, atención, ¡hey! ¡Hey!
At the headquarters, we are introduced to Commander Julio, number 5 in the guerrilla, the most important guerrilla member presently imprisoned. He is accused of rebellion, terrorism, and having killed 12 policemen.
La FARC era una estructura político-militar.
We, the Colombian Revolutionary Armed Forces, have a political and military structure. In other words, we are organized exactly like any other guerrilla front. The only difference are the topographic limitations. We control 4 to 5 hectares, half the prison.
Estrechos, es decir, 4 o 5 hectáreas. Entonces, por eso es que la
We are
estructura
organized
está
into squadrons, guerrilla
de
companies.
guerrilla y está de compañía.
Junio 27 del 2001, guardia nocturna para una compañía de la FARC-EP. Relevantes, postas, centinela 1, centinela 2 y rotonda. Relevantes, primer turno, tío. Segundo, pinzón. Tercero.
This company will assure the turn of duty for the next 12 hours. There is a guard post at the end of each corridor. In this one can survey the entire rear end of the prison. The guerrillas don't show their weapons, but they show us that they've planned out protective areas where gunmen can be posted. That is used to protect a gunman. What's it made of? Trunk of a tree. Have you already used it? Yes, of course. The man with the submachine gun is Commander Julio's bodyguard. The moment Julio leaves his cell, the bodyguard is glued to his side at all times with all his equipment. Today it's more than 80 degrees Fahrenheit inside the prison. To wear a shirt or any other loose clothing is in fact a sign of carrying a weapon. In the territory controlled by Deputy Commander Elviero's men, there are several patios and yards which are the domain of a few small storekeepers, all prisoners. All these businesses are for the survival of the prisoners. It's thanks to them that we can feed our families, that we can earn our living inside the prisons. It's with the consent of the prison administration. There are several restaurants, each with their specialties. You can even find seafood. I have shrimp cocktails. And even oysters. There are a few games, but the business which attracts the most clients is the telephone. Telephones are forbidden. And as not everyone can afford a cell phone, some of the more resourceful have managed to get some phone lines which they rent. The price of a call is about 50 cents. Here it's normal. Cell phones are like weapons. It's very easy to bring in a weapon. The restaurant is free. Free for the men of the guerrilla. Not only for the officers, the other members of the guerrilla can eat here too. Even if, when the bosses eat, the bodyguards fast. It's the organization which pays everything. We buy the food. Everything that is eaten here comes from us. The state gives us no way of surviving. It doesn't assure our security. Those prisoners who don't have the means to go to the restaurant eat whatever they can find, whatever is left over. This is an image of the Archangel St. Michael. You have nothing else to eat? No, sir. The penitentiary administration provides one meal a day, at 11 o'clock. To go to it, one must be hungry. Extremely hungry. Only the poorest of the inmates go there. There are hundreds of indigent people among the common law prisoners, but there are varying degrees of poverty among them. The one who has just opened this door is a guerrilla. He did it at the request of two of his bosses who want to see us. Two intellectuals. One is an engineer with the Department of Civil Engineering, the other a dentist. Both were in prison for rebellion and kidnapping for ransom. The poorest ones, the ones at the bottom of the ladder, are in the yard. They cannot pay for anything, and so can't move from here. It's easy to see the overpopulation of the prison here. The people that you see on the ground during the day are also there at night. They have no other place to sleep. Those with a little money can pay for a roof. Shanty dwellings are built just about everywhere. In general, a hut shelters 5 to 6 prisoners.
lo que la misma gente va construyendo.
These are hovels. It's the prisoners themselves who have built them because they didn't have a cell. Why don't you have a cell? Because we're poor, we don't have any money. And the administration? Nothing. A world of extreme violence, and yet they've had to buy their place upon arrival and pay rent. About $30 to buy a place which they will sell when they leave. More than $3 of rent a month. You have to pay rent. No one can come and just move in like that. You have to pay the boss. Can we meet him? No, he doesn't want to. Here it's the law of silence. No one knows anything. No one has seen anything. No one has heard anything. Blind, deaf, and dumb. We don't take care of anything, only our own affairs. The four who were in this hut were all arrested together. They were all armed. The police accused them of several murders, but for the moment they have no proof. I will not let my family die of starvation. If someone tells me to go and kill for 1 million pesos, I'll do it. My family is not going to die of starvation. Yes, I've already done it, but not for money. What have you already done? Kill. Here, it's a custom. You're looking scornfully at me. I'm armed. I'll use it. We are now with the richest ones, those who can afford to even have their shoes repaired. Glue, leather, soles, everything needed to repair shoes. When one is relatively rich, in other words, can pay $115 for a place and then a little rent, then you can offer yourself a tunnel which leads nowhere. There is one in every floor. They are 100 meters long and scarcely 1 meter wide. For $115, one can buy a sort of underwater berth for the whole time of one's incarceration. Two can get together to do it. Then there is a little rent to pay, a little like maintenance charges. How many people live here? I don't know. You have to ask someone in charge. As you go deeper into the tunnel, the air thins and the temperature rises. Here you have to pay rent. How much? $2 a week. The only way out is the way we went in. Here is the widest part of the tunnel. No air circulates here. It's hotter here than at the entrance, and no air circulates. It's very hard. I asked to be transferred to another prison, closer to my family. There's a very unusual place in the zone controlled by the guerrilla. Deputy Commander Alverio has decided to show it to us. In this yard are 2 workshops where a few prisoners work and are able to earn a bit of money. What's surprising is that some of those working here come from the South Zone, the one held by the enemies of the guerrilla, the extreme right paramilitary. There are prisoners from the South Wing working here in the North Wing? Yes, they are common law prisoners. They can come, but now with the paramilitary. They don't have the right to come here. Are they spies? Yes, spies infiltrate like in all wars, like in all armies. They have infiltrated our side, and we've got some on their side. It's a question of information.
Como nosotros también podemos tener gente nosotros dentro de los locales de ellos, pero es cuestión de información.
Sunday is the day for visits.
Campanadas del reloj de mi triste y cruel prisión, como arrancando suspiros de mi pobre corazón. Cuando el juez me sentenció, nunca se me va a olvidar lo que mi madre lloraba por mirarme en el penal. Noches llenas de lamentos, de arrepentimientos.
Many skirts must be worn.
Se oyen los
Mini skirts and sandals to make searches easier.
hombre que está en la prisión.
Sunday, the population doubles. Everyone gets ready for it.
¿Qué estás haciendo como
What are you repairing? I'm arranging my berth because it's too high. I have to lower it. Sunday is the day of visits and I have to have a good welcome for her. Who is coming to see you? My wife. Has it been a long time since she's come? 3 months. For the conjugal duty, you have to have enough space. You don't have enough space?
Ah, tú estás haciendo el espacio necesario.
Claro.
El compañero no había podido
And your
prestar.
comrade won't loan you his berth?
Sí, él me la puede prestar. Siempre
He already loaned it to me.
Sí, pero entonces...
But my wife doesn't like to sleep in other people's
En
beds.
otra cama.
No tengo lugar y no tengo paisaje y aún menos tengo patria. Con mis dedos hago el fuego y con mi corazón te canto. La cuerda de mi corazón llora.
June 23rd. In the middle of the night, 109 guerrillas try to escape from La Picota. La Picota is the second Bogotá prison, located at the edge of the city. An explosion made this hole in the wall. The prisoners escaped through it. Of the 109 escaping prisoners, 5 were killed by the watchtower guards. The next morning, at La Modelo, they've decided to hold a celebration in memory of their 5 dead comrades. The door of the north wing opens to let Father Antonio come in. Commander Julio asked him to come. He's accompanied by a few women sponsors of the Secours Catholique, a Catholic aid association. Father Antonio has been the prison chaplain for 2 years. The chaplains last longer here than the directors. For the past 2 years, a little game has been going on between the atheist revolutionary and the priest. Hello, the big boss is here. Yes, Father.
No, sí, sí. La mayoría de nuestros combatientes prácticamente.
In fact, most of our fighting force, 80 to 90%, are not only Catholics, but are also from practicing Catholic families.
Y a la vez son practicantes también.
Pero ya va poco a poco, Julio.
Yeah, but little by little I'm converting Julio.
Que me ha pedido.
He even asked me to perform the marriage ceremony for him.
No, sí, claro.
And I have already baptized his 2 sons. Has the priest given you a religious conscience?
No.
No, never.
No, nunca. De todos modos,
My vision of the world and of the society is already fixed. And I have a materialistic conception of history. I'm a former communist. All the guerrillas do not come to Mass. The bosses are wary. A moment like this one is perfect for the South to launch an attack. The sentries are all at their posts.
La vida aquí se ha perdido el sentido. La vida aquí no tiene.
Here, life no longer has any sense or value. The mission which the Church has given me is to try to save life, to give it sense again.
Que tiene la vida.
¿Qué decir hoy nosotros en medio de tanta violencia?
There is nothing to say in the face of all this violence and this war that we Colombians are living through. The only thing which can unite us is to defend the life and the dignity of Colombians. You, the guerrilla, you too are fighting for the right to life and to proclaim liberty.
También que la vida es necesaria y que la vida hay que siempre defenderla y proclamar ese derecho.
They have to show that the church will never have the last word. For that, Commander Julio knows what to do.
Bien, compañeros.
Comrades,
La libertad hay que buscarla.
liberty must be sought at any price.
Pero para eso, compañeros,
But to do that, comrades, we must remain united.
vamos a darle un viva eterno.
We are going to give an internal cheer to our comrades who have fallen.
Eterna al compañero Gillo. Entonces, cuando digamos compañero Gillo
When I say, Comrades Guillo present, you answer, always present, for the fight forever.
compañero Gillo presente. Buscar la libertad, ayudar en la
To gain liberty, to support our organization, to bar the route to the extreme right party.
aquellas personas que quieren difamar.
We must fight against those who defame our organization and who collaborate with the enemy.
Con el enemigo para que
Those who want us to rot in these miserable latrines.
de miseria. Muchas gracias, compañero.
The commander always has his gun with him. Perhaps this was the gun that shot the policeman whom he is accused of killing. But in prison, his tool of work is mostly his computer. I belong outside the prisons. Of course that's where I belong. But since we are in the hands of the enemy, we have to continue to prepare for the future.
Tenemos que comenzar a formarnos para que cuando vayamos o cuando estemos en el poder,
When we will be in power, we will find solutions to the problems of this country.
ayudar a solucionar los problemas de este país.
That is our fundamental belief.
Fundamental nuestro.
From the fourth floor of the most protected building in the prison, Commander Julio dreams of the day when he will take power. While his boss thinks about revolution, the deputy commander in charge of security has more material matters on his mind. One of the prison shopkeepers has a brand name watch to sell. It's a real one. Nah, but it's too expensive. No, $1 million with the ring. 750,000 just for the watch.
750.
I'll give you 700,000 for the watch. It's a good deal for the two of them. It's not expensive. Otherwise, I'm going to have to set up a raffle for $1.50 a ticket. Okay, I'll give you 700,000. No, I'll see you later. I'll give it to you right now.
Es que estoy corto, viejo. Estoy corto.
750. No, 7 right now. I'm a little low now. Okay, it's a deal. Each one of these banknotes equals about $70. They're new, just fresh from the bank. It's pretty clear that the guerrilla security chief has plenty to buy himself a few frivolities.
Le agradezco. Bueno, gracias. Hasta luego.
Deputy Commander Alviero takes us back to the doors where the guerrilla territory begins. I can take you just to here. Beyond this point, I can no longer assure your safety. You will have to see with the guards or the prisoners. Our control of the prison stops here at this door, for the time being. After the reinforced door, the neutral zone, with the guards protected behind the reinforced door of the checkpoint. A dozen yards further on, another reinforced door, the one which opens into the south wing, the one controlled by the extreme right militia. Now we are under their protection. At their head, Carlos. He has no rank, but is nicknamed Caracas. In April 2000, the United Self-Defense Militia, who had some men in the prison and who were fed up with the guerrilla controlling the power, attacked. These images were filmed outside the prison, on the police side. Inside the prison, 12 hours of battle between the militia and the guerrilla. 40 dead by the end of the shootout, which left Caracas, who had directed the operation, as master of the whole southern wing of the prison. A month before, a judge had imprisoned him for terrorist activity. It is he now who is in charge of security for the southern buildings. A group of about 200 men control this whole section of the prison and keep order. We take care of our own security here. How do you do it? We have a 24-hour day and night security service. In this patio here, do you have men? Yes, of course. Are they armed? No, not at all. Caracas is lying in front of the camera. Everyone knows it. Here, shirts, jackets, and especially coats are used to hide weapons. As on the guerrilla side, there are men at each bar door. They control all access. There are, however, some guards. There are only 2 for this block and its 1,600 occupants, and they spend most of their time in this office. There are only 2 guards. But it's crazy. Yes, it's unfair. And in addition, when there's a murder, it's they who are held responsible. It's unfair. There are only 2 for 1,600 prisoners. They don't control anything. What can they do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's a shame. Caracas agrees to show us his cell. On his floor, the cells have all been redone, and each prisoner has his own key. You live here? Yes. How long have you been here? A little more than a year. Are you very busy? Yes, enormously. I have a lot of activities. Are you very much in demand? Yes, a great deal. I have a lot of work, a lot of problems to resolve. When you have all that, you have to be up to it. Find solutions to each problem. In fact, the man who seems to solve all the problems here is Caracas. He has the means to do so. For example, to send a prisoner into prison. Behind these barriers, it's called the tunnel. It's guarded by one of Caracas's men, the one who's wearing a visor. It's our solitary confinement. We lock people in there for crimes committed in the yards. Insults, theft, debt. You have to let me out. Sunday is visiting day. I haven't been out in 15 days. I have to wash for the visit. Let me out. Okay. I'll arrange it. When we entered, we saw there were 50 prisoners imprisoned in the tunnel. 50, all sentenced by Caracas. Are there people who sleep up there? Yes, everywhere, in the hammocks, on the ground, up above.
Sergio! Sergio!
What's that? It's food. Is it good? No, it's bad.
¿Cómo es la comida en la cárcel? Cuenta.
Pues mala.
¿Mala? ¿Qué es lo más duro?
What's the worst thing in solitary? The crab lice. In these yards controlled by the extreme right organization, the poor sleep wherever they can, just as the other side controlled by the extreme left organization. However, everything here is not just like the guerrilla side. Here, there are work projects. Caracas has a social program and the money to put it into effect. These are the dormitories for the poor. How was it before? There was a roof, nothing else, planks. Who financed this? We did. It's our organization. Here, all the progress is thanks to these men. As for us, we come from the street where we have already been mistreated. And here, the administration has completely forgotten us. Caracas' social works programs include leisure activities. There is a soccer tournament for the prisoners. We're the ones who organized it. We discover as we follow him that Caracas is one who has financed the whole renovation of the North Wing, even telephone booths, normally forbidden. We are the ones who contacted the company, and we drew up the contracts. This is an electrical goods store, the only one we have. Who does it belong to? To us. He never does tell us who us is, nor does he ever tell how much he earns from all the activities he controls in this zone. It's like a little town. You can find everything you want in a town, and it's the same here in the prison. The only thing missing is a bank. Yes, that's all. But it's not only with the money he makes inside the prison that allows Caracas to finance all his projects. Here we are going to lay tiles. You are modernizing the prison? Yes, we want it to look good, and for everyone to be comfortable here. What were you doing before? We constructed toilets because there weren't any. What were we to do? Before we had to do it in plastic sacks and urinate in bottles. Caracas is respected here. At the beginning, the United Self-Defense Militia was financed by the big landowners, but today they control huge areas of land, as do the guerrilla, with zones for the production of cocaine. The militia no longer have any problem of money. The hallways are all redone, thanks to Caracas. The antennas to get the television satellites, Caracas. The luxurious cells, even if they aren't for everyone, Caracas again. We want the visitors, the families who come here, to leave knowing the changes we've brought to the prison. A total change in all areas. Among those who have been able to profit from the new conditions of life is this man, convicted for fraud 4 years ago and who is finishing his sentence. He has had time to learn the rules of La Modelo. You have to avoid having anything to do with the boss, not speak to him. You have to accept all the arrangements he proposes and to pay taxes, symbolic, such as, for example, to buy tickets for the raffle he's organizing, give money to repair a door, for floral decorations. It's true he takes money from us, but we can see the changes. The worst is the corruption of the administration, that of the guards. They are the ones who let the drugs and weapons come in. They get rich from the killings between prisoners. The guards are the accomplices of the murderers. Normally, between noon and 2 o'clock, all the doors are closed. You can't go to church or to the infirmary. But when a murder is going to take place, strangely enough, as if by magic, the doors stay open and the guards disappear. They reappear after, when the murder has taken place. There are 150 guards for more than 5,000 prisoners, and the average age is about 23. The director who was here before Captain Garchana was fired 2 months ago, accused to have pocketed $1 million from helping a drug trafficker escape.
Águilas y osos, 2. No. 3. No. 4. A sus puestos.
We fight every day against corruption. The personnel has to be conscious of our commitment. We see the corruption. We try to eliminate it. But the problem is that it comes from higher up, and it's us in the middle who get blamed.
Y venimos a llevar del bulto somos los cuadros medios.
In the south wing, there's a reserved yard, controlled by Caracas and his extreme right militiamen. Only those who pay have access to it, those who have the luxury cells. Around this place, there are 35 artisans and storekeepers, and you can find a little bit of everything, as in other places in La Modelo. But here, the difference is the quality. Strawberry, blackberry, banana, apple, pineapple juice. The shopkeepers are common law prisoners doing business here. Most of them are Colombians, with a few exceptions. The pastry chef comes from Europe. He was arrested for fraud and bought this bakery from a man who was being freed. What's it called? The Parisian. Why? I don't know. I bought it like that. The baker's neighbor is the best restaurant owner in La Modelo. Italian specialties. Giancarlo is Italian, and he's a guy who's been around a lot and so has gotten to know other prisons. He says he was once in the prison in Nice. He was arrested here in Colombia for false papers. We do lasagnas, pasta, scallops. We do it all the dishes. We do dishes that people don't even know. From time to time, someone asks us for a maître d'hôtel rib steak or a filet mignon. The dish of the day is 40 francs at Giancarlo's, which is expensive for here, and one has to reserve his table. We have garlic, thyme, bay leaf, mint. If we're missing something, we order it from outside and they deliver it to us. Giancarlo, the boss, says his turnover is 15,000 francs a week, but there's no one to check. There's no tax collector here. However, everyone does have to pay taxes. And the one who collects them is Caracas. You have the keys? I have all the keys. The one for the corridor, for the door of my cell, all. Giancarlo lives in one of the luxurious cells on an upper floor. He says that he's done his own decoration, or at least that he financed it. He shares it with another prisoner. I made the separation to have my own space and not bother my cellmate. In order to stand up inside, you have to close the door. I also have the rye. Here you don't think. You work all the time. You don't think of being imprisoned. You are too tired from the work. I get along all by myself. I don't need anyone to send me money or anything else from outside. I earn enough to live, and sometimes it's me who sends money orders to my son. Psychologically, you don't feel you're in prison. Honestly, I'd rather be in prison here than in France. There, you are stuck in your cell 21 hours. You can go out 2 hours a day. You can't do anything. The only thing everyone does there is get depressed. Here, it's a paradise for prisoners, not for those who are free. And as in all paradises, this one has its gods. The all-powerful live at the end of this corridor in the high-security wing. Only one of its 30 occupants is not in for drug charges. He is one of the heads of the extreme right militia, Juan de Jesus Pimiento, doctor of philosophy, Caracas' boss. He doesn't hide the fact. However, he will never admit openly that a number of the murders that take place in La Modelo were on his orders. Death is always present. In the corridors, in the rotundas, in the yards, as if it wanted to remind us that everything has an end.
Que también tenemos un fin algún día. Sinceramente, yo creo que paga
The organization's investments are in excess of $1 million.
una ideología como la ideología expresada por las
Our
autoridades
ideology,
de Colombia,
that of the United Militias of Colombia, is discipline, order, work. For us, work is what maintains the functioning of society.
las personas. En esa dirección, las autodefensas las percibo yo como
The militia is an organization which supports the state and its institutions and is in agreement with the present economic system. In front of us, there is the leftist organization which fights against the state and the establishment, an ideology which is based on poverty and misery. On the one side, there's work, well-being, and order. On the other side, there's misery, poverty, and hunger. 2 weeks after this interview, a shootout took place in the early morning. It lasted 12 hours. When the police and the military finally took over the prison, they found 25 dead. In Bogotá, there are many who say that Juan Jesus Pimiento was giving a demonstration of his power. Others say that on the contrary, it was the guerrilla who started the attack, in order to kill Popeye, and that Caracas' men were protecting the drug boss.